Some people say that late in the season, the teams you don't want to face are those that have already been eliminated because they don't have anything to play for. They're not stressed out at all, and they can take wins away from you. Tonight, that might just be right. Although I don't know if anyone else is going to be too scared about playing against the Vancouver Canucks to end the season. On Saturday night, it was Vancouver continuing their California road trip by meeting San Jose. San Jose is kind of losing it a little bit. They were in a really good spot at the start of the week, but then they lost back to back games in the middle of the week and kind of just cost any chance at a spot in playoffs. LA's been winning games, Nashville's been winning games, and San Jose's kind of just fallen down. This game was a must win for San Jose for sure. A loss here, and they're just done. They are already, probably done, but a loss here would confirm that for sure. On the Vancouver side of things, I've been consistently saying that they have nothing to play for. They don't care. But in this game, there actually is something to play for. When the Canucks traded Kiefer Sherwood to the San Jose Sharks, we received 2 second-round picks and defenseman Cole Clayton. One of those second-round picks is in 2026. I've been talking about this all week. I've been looking forward to this game because if San Jose misses the playoffs, which it looks like they are probably going to, that pick is like 7 spots higher than it would be if they made playoffs. So the Canucks actually had a role to play in this game for themselves. Beat San Jose, make sure they miss playoffs, and get a better second round pick. Now, it might be a little bit silly to care about this because it's the 4th highest pick the Canucks are going to have in the draft, and it would be cool to see San Jose make playoffs. But I don't care, I'm heartless. I want the best. So we entered this game, and right away you could kind of tell it wasn't going to be like the more recent Canucks games, like the past 3 games that have been terrible. Both teams were flying, both teams were buzzing. It was very interesting from the get-go. Lots of shots on net, lots of action. Very unlike what has happened recently. I've been so unengaged in Canucks games these past few games because nothing happens. The Canucks do nothing. Against Vegas, they got 11 shots on net. Last game, somehow, almost even less stuff happened, and I was really starving for a game like this. It was San Jose who opened the scoring in that first period. Off the faceoff, the Canucks defensemen kind of just abandoned their role as defensemen. So Igor Chernyshov was able to take it to the net and score it 1-0 Sharks. But we head into the second period, and we're going to see if I can describe what happened here properly. Victor Mancini iced the puck, but Marco Rossi was ahead of the race. I don't think Mancini knew that. I think he just kind of iced the puck and got a little bit lucky. It went behind the net, and Yaroslav Askarov saw Marco Rossi leading the race, so he went out to play the puck, so Rossi couldn't get there first. But it banked off the end boards right to Rossi in front of the net. Askarov got himself stuck on the net, basically threw it over, but before he could actually throw it onto the ground, Marco Rossi scored and made it 1-1. At first, they weren't allowing it. I don't know how that wouldn't be allowed. The goalie can't throw the net down, but it was a really funny goal. That's the kind of thing you would expect to happen against the Canucks, not for the Canucks. We haven't really gotten lucky enough for those kinds of things to happen to us this year. But it did, and it was 1-1. Unfortunately, San Jose wields a deadly weapon against the Canucks. We have a lot of kryptonites, but this might be the biggest one. Tyler Tofoley. He owns the Canucks, and it was especially after we didn't re-sign him. We traded for him in 2020. He was big for us in the bubble playoffs, and then Jim Benning just didn't contact his agent because that's Jim Benning activities. And then Tofoley just scorched us. Playing for Montreal, playing for Calgary, whatever, he would just score every single game. He'd score multiple times every game. I got sick of it, and it hasn't been as prevalent lately, but he still scores. And in this one, he scored. He sniped one. I think Kevin Lankinen should have had it. I don't think it was too tough of a shot to save. I think it was a little bit far out, too. He seemed to have been screened by the duo of Dickinson and Vilander that were battling for position. I think that is why the puck went in, but I still think it needs to be saved. It wasn't really the craziest shot of all time, though I theorized that Tyler Toffoli just has some kind of boost against the Canucks, so maybe he air bent or something to make that go in the net. I don't know. 2-1 Sharks. Luckily, the Canucks got a power play, and the Canucks power play has been magnificent recently. It's been the best power play in the entire league over the past 15 games. Just unbelievable work, mainly from Jake DeBrusk, who is 4th on the leaderboard for power play goals this year, despite only having 19 on the season, but now 20, because on this power play, Phil Pronik blasted one from the point, the rebound kicked out right to Jake DeBrusk, and he scored it. 17th power play goal of the season. He has 3 even strength goals. San Jose challenged it for goalie interference. I didn't see anything really there. I mean, I can see what they were trying to see. There's no way that was worth a challenge. It would have been so funny if DeBrus scored on the power play that came after the challenge. It was 2-2. We headed into the third. It was a very good game. The shots were close. They were battling. There's no way that a team with any playoff aspirations should be battling against the Canucks. But you have to think of that Colorado game. So, I'll give San Jose the benefit of the doubt here, but they are not a good team. They are really not a good team, carried by Celebrini, and I don't want to disrespect them. It's just kind of true. They're not a very good team. They did get heavily outplayed, except for when that Celebrini line was on the ice. And in the third period, that Celebrini line got on the ice. Celebrini himself got the puck, threw it to the slot where Igor Chernyshov was waiting. There were 4 Canucks in the slot, and not one of them thought, hey, I should pick up this guy. And when he got the puck, it took like a split second before anybody reacted to it. So he got the time to take a shot, and he scored it, his second of the game, and he made it a 3-2 Sharks lead. At that point, I was thinking, okay, it's kind of over a little bit. But then the Canucks got a power play late in the third. The first unit got a lot of good looks, honestly, on that. I thought that they were going to score at some point. They had a lot of good chances, but they just couldn't. So the second power play unit got onto the ice, and they didn't do a whole lot of anything either. So then there was a face-off with 5 seconds left on the power play, and the Canucks just sent out a regular line. And off that face-off, Linus Karlsson brought the puck to the net. Askarov poked at it. It went to the stick of Teddy Bluger, who potted it for a power play goal. A Teddy Bluger power play goal. His 9th of the season, by the way. It's really been a great year for him. I mean, 9 goals for Teddy Bluger is about his average. But he's done it in so few games. Like, he missed a huge chunk of the season. So he's put up a great season. And I'm happy to have him on the team. This was a big goal, and you could tell by that celebration they wanted this game too. They were playing so well, and it was 3-3 at this point. We went into overtime, the first time the Canucks have played in overtime in quite a while. We normally don't make it to this point. In that overtime, it wasn't a whole lot of stuff happening until Jake DeBrusk took a penalty. And I do think it was kind of a BS call. I don't really think that should be called a penalty in overtime. I think the Sharks player went down a little bit easy. Power play for the Sharks, I kind of assumed it was over. But then Marcus Pettersson turned on goalie mode, made a crazy save with his leg off a Will Smith open net look. Like, I thought it was over right then and there, and then Marcus Pettersson just slides in to save the day. And then late in that power play, William Eklund took a penalty that I don't think was a penalty either. Philip Hronek just ran into him, flipped over him, and it was a penalty on Eklund. Like, maybe interference. It was probably more of a penalty than the DeBrusk one was, but I don't think either of these need to be called in overtime. It evened out, even though this call was with 28 seconds left and there wasn't really a whole lot of time for the Canucks to do anything, which they didn't. So we went to a shootout where Kevin Langton went in 17 for 17 on shootout attempts against this year. He's the best shootout goalie of all time. I'm not even kidding. Like, statistically, he is the greatest shootout goalie of all time. And he went into this game with a perfect record in the shootout. Nobody had scored on him. But that came to an end in the second round of the shootout because, of course, Macklin Celebrini is going to score because everything goes right for Macklin Celebrini. No, I'm not jealous that a 19-year-old is doing bigger and better things than me. But maybe a little bit. The Canucks sent out Philip Hronek first, which is hilarious. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. I was hoping they would do something fun, and Philip Hronek being our first shooter is just so funny. Like, why? I love it. I think it's great. He didn't score. I thought it was great. In the second round, they went back to the classics. Jake DeBrusk came in on the shootout. He kind of just flipped one over the charging Askarov. That was a great goal, and it made up for the overtime penalty. And then nobody scored for a while. But then we got to round 6, and it was Linus Karlsson shooting for the Canucks. And he went in slowly. He was stick handling kind of funny. And he had his head down like the whole time. Just suddenly snapped one past Askarov to give the Canucks the win in the 6th round of the shootout. A 4-3 win. Such a fun game to watch. The Canucks managed over 40 shots. I never thought I'd see the day. But I had a lot of fun watching this one. I thought that it was a great effort from the team. I could tell that they wanted this one. And I thought before this game, like, there's no way they really care about the second round pick being better or not. But it's still just fun to play spoiler, no matter what team it is. So they came out of the gates flying in this one. And this ruins San Jose's hopes of playoffs. I mean, they're not eliminated yet. but they're going to find it very hard to make playoffs now. So that second round pick that the Canucks hold is going to be not really that bad. It's going to be pretty good. Considering it's our fourth pick in that draft, it's going to be in a good spot. San Jose currently occupies the 24th spot in the league standings, which would mean that that second round pick would be 41st overall. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's a lot better than it being like 48th overall. So I'm happy with it. And the Canucks did their job. I really wanted this game. If you showed me the full schedule, like for the last month of the season, and asked me to pick one game for us to win, I'm absolutely picking this one just because it had some sort of implications for us. And again, I may be overblowing how important this was. San Jose probably wasn't going to make the playoffs anyway. Really, like, cheering against them just because I want to pick a few spots higher in the second round is kind of crazy, but I don't care. I really just don't care. I wanted this, they got it, and I'm very happy. I thought Teddy Bluger played a great game even before he scored the goal. I thought he was playing amazing. He was making a lot of smart plays, with which Teddy Bluger does. And I mean, he just shows why he should still be a player on this team. I mean, I thought about wanting to trade him at the deadline, obviously, but I really warmed up to the idea of keeping him. I can't believe that no team gave an offer for him. And I feel like a lot of teams should be looking at what he's done on Vancouver this season, even after the trade deadline, and they should just think to themselves, like, man, we could use that guy right now because he's a great leader. He's a great player both ways. I mean, the offense has really come out of him this year. It's great to see. I thought he played great. I thought that whole line was really good. The line I didn't like in this one was the Besser Pettersson line, mainly with Ogrren, though Ratu got a shift on there, which was funny to me. They got dominated by the Celebrini, Smith, Chernyshov line. And really, what are you going to do? They're younger, they're faster, they're more skilled at this point. I'm not really surprised, but they did get absolutely dominated. They did not look good out there. Pettersson also had a really good chance in overtime, and he failed. And his shootout attempt was kind of pathetic. So I didn't love his game here. I mean, I didn't want to see him in the shootout at all. I thought in the fifth round, Marco Rossi was the guy to go to because, he's not really that much of a scorer. He's not like a crazy scorer by any means, but he is a good offensive player. Pettersson, I swear, every single time we go to overtime, there's some moment where Elias Pettersson can be the hero, and he just isn't. I don't know what it is. I would love for him to get some moment, but he just can't. And he had two opportunities today, and he just didn't. And he played bad the whole game, and it's sad. On defense, Elias Pettersson and Victor Mancini actually played a great game analytically. They were the best defensive pair analytically, and they did definitely get the easier minutes. Mancini was making some silly mistakes. He lucked into an assist, but he definitely played fine enough. It does seem like we have the resurgence of the Chaos Draft, the resurrection, the reincarnation of the Chaos Draft. That's the word I'm going for. But I do like Mancini, and there was one play where he looked like Cale Makar for a second in the offensive zone, and he did that in the AHL so much last year. So it was nice to see him do that in the NHL at some point. You can definitely see that he has good skating. He has the tools. It's just his hockey IQ isn't the best, and he's very prone to making mistakes. But he's still decently young. I mean, he has some time to reform his skill. He can be a good seventh defenseman. I mean, I like him. I think he definitely needs to work on his defensive game. Elias Pettersson had a good defensive game, and he was also making some plays in the offensive zone. I mean, any game where there's an Elias Pettersson shot on net is a good one. Lankinen was a beast. He made so many big saves for the Canucks today. He kept them in this one, especially in the shootout. I mean, they couldn't score, but San Jose couldn't score either because it's Kevin Lankinen. I'm gonna assume that this is the last time the Canucks go to overtime. Kevin Lankinen would end his season 22 for 23 in the shootout. That is a save percentage of 956 in the shootout. That makes no sense. It's incredible. He's put up a great season in that regard, and he's put up a great career in that regard. I mean, if we could just get every single game to a shootout, we would be making the playoffs. I mean, obviously, because if you win half of those and lose the other half in overtime, you get like 123 points. But still, all we had to do was just get some games to a shootout, and Kevin Lankinen could take us the rest of the way, like he did today, like he's done many times this season. like he did against Boston in December, like he did against Seattle in December. He's a great goalie when he wants to be. Unfortunately, he hasn't really wanted to be a whole lot this year. And I don't really blame him, because why would you? He's collecting $4.5 million to not really have a lot of pressure on his job. And he has job security too, because it's not like we can get rid of him and just expect Demko to be healthy. That's not going to happen. This is running a little bit long already, so I'm just going to go to my top 10 most impressive Canucks of the season list. Today we are doing number 4, and I mentioned the last episode that this top 4 has really set themselves apart from the rest of the list, in my opinion. I think that the gap between 4 and 5 is like very, very big. These 4 guys are the 4 that I can legitimately say that I was impressed with this season consistently. So we're going to start it off with number 4, and it's Liam Ogrren. Ogrren, of course, came over in the Quinn Hughes trade in December, and his stats with Minnesota this season were abysmal. 0 points in 18 games with the Wild. And the Wild are a good team, too. The fact he wasn't able to create anything was kind of insane. Like, no points in 18 games. So people saw this guy get thrown into the deal. You know, he's overshadowed by the first round pick and Rossi and Buyam. He's the fourth most important part of this trade. People saw him in there and they're like, wow, the Canucks really traded Quinn Hughes for a dude with 0 points. And what did he do in Vancouver? Well, he just played amazing. The stats certainly will not knock your socks off or anything. He had 18 points in 48 games to this point as a member of the Canucks. But that is a lot more than we would have expected seeing this guy with 0 points in 18 games. The biggest thing is that he's fast and he looked engaged. He looked like he was having fun. He looked energized, and he was a lot of fun to watch. And he's someone to be excited about for the future. I think he could be a very important middle six piece for this team. And we really lack forward prospects. Like, that is a big problem for us. We have Coots, we have Lecker, and then it's like not a lot. Like, do you guys believe in Riley Patterson? I don't know if I really do. Sorry. Ogrren came out of the gates flying, and he had some really good moments other than on the score sheet as well. Like, he had that big shootout winner against Boston. He had another shootout winner against Seattle. It was fun to watch. Like, this is a really good piece for us, and I didn't expect a whole lot from him, especially because he didn't produce on a good team. So what was he going to do on a bad team? But man, he's produced pretty well. That 18 points in 48 games is a 30-point 82 game pace, and at the age of 21, you absolutely take that from Liam Ogrren. I think he's 22 now, actually. Yeah, I'm right. He did turn 22 this season, but at that age, like 30 points is very good. That could be 40, 50-point potential, and that is good for a middle six forward. Plus, he's fast. Plus, he uses his body well. Like, he could be a very good player for this team. I was mightily impressed by him. Obviously, there's a lot to work on. Obviously, I don't see him being a star player or anything, but he's the kind of guy who gets his name chanted. He's the kind of guy who you will hear Liam Ogrren reverberating around Rogers Arena, just like Kiefer Sherwood, just like Connor Garland, because he's an Energizer Bunny. And he has the makings of a fan favorite, and he has really shown that this year. I don't know if there's any Canucks fan that could have anything bad to say about Liam Ogrren, because, like, what could there be wrong with him? It's great. I mean, I love him. I think he's a great player, and I was really excited to see him perform so well on Vancouver. Obviously, it's not like crazy, crazy, but he did a lot more than anyone would have expected. So, Ogren slots in at 4 on my most impressive Canucks of the season list, and I'm expecting really good things from him in the future. This is so long. This is going to take me forever to edit. So I'm just going to end it there. I'm very happy with this result. I didn't know if we were going to win another game for the rest of the season after that Colorado one. So we got one. I think that might be it. I don't know if we're going to beat Anaheim. Even if we're good against Anaheim, I don't think we're going to beat them. LA has been winning a lot of games recently, so they're probably going to stomp on us. And Edmonton will be playing their AHL team. So actually we might get that one. That would be good for the ego. But yeah, the next game is tomorrow night against Anaheim. That is a big game for them. Obviously not a big game for us, and I highly doubt we win back to back. I'm running out of ideas for my goal predictions. I'm just gonna I'll go Liam Ogrren. I just said his name, so he's on the brain. Liam Ogrren will score next game. This was really fun. I need a game like this every once in a while. This is probably the last time I'll be happy after a Canucks game this year. Actually, I'll be happy after game 82, because then it'll be over.